How we doing today? Today I'm on FC 25. Yeah, it's EA Sports FC 25, aka FIFA 25. If you're not a sports fan, if you're really a soccer fan, I'm gonna just tell you a bit about this game. This game's been out for plenty of years. It's just a soccer game. But what I really look forward to when I'm playing this game is the career mode. Making my own team of real players, but doing going through a career as a manager. And this is my team at Bergamo Calcio, or aka his real life in the real life name Atalanta. And yeah, this team is. I've been playing this as this team for a couple seasons now. I think 5 seasons, 4 seasons. Just every morning, I hop on usually this game. This is usually the game, or just any FIFA game in general, and I'm always on and just playing, working on my career mode. And this is a game that I can have YouTube on, I can have somebody in the room with me, and I can just be playing. It's just one of those games. One of those, personal games that just is always there for you. And the reason why I make a video about this one is, I don't know, I just want to talk a bit about, soccer, sports, and just anything surrounding that, really. Um, my favorite team of all time. If you support my team, I love you. If you don't, I'm sorry. But Manchester United, I know we're trash. I know we're really bad right now. But hey, only team undefeated in Europe. Those who know. Yeah, let's just run a couple games. Just talk, yap, see what's going on. But you know, I used to play soccer in middle school actually. 1 year, 1 year in the middle school soccer team, and I was a midfielder. Uh, I remember back then, almost all the sixth graders were just sitting on the bench because the seventh and eighth graders were crazy. We used to have this guy called Eduardo would score, 2 hat tricks a game, which is 6 goals. A hat trick is 3 goals, but God, this man would just be crazy, just scoring goals infinitely, infinitely, infinitely. And I'd just be like, wow, how can someone be that good? But yeah, no, I wasn't. I was never really good at soccer, or I guess I never really put in that much time. Um, I didn't go out much, and I have asthma, so it took a lot of convincing and a lot of planning with my parents in order for them to trust me to play the sport. But I remember what, what really got me in love with the sport was FIFA 16. Those who know the journey. Oh my god, you play as Alex Hunter and you just go through his cinematic career from an English team all the way to the to America, back to Spain, playing for Real Madrid. That made me fall in love with this series. And yeah, FIFA's great. Soccer is great. And I remember when I was playing the Journey, I first chose, I think, Sunderland, which were a relegation team, a team not that good. And the reason why I chose them was because, I didn't want to choose one of the easy teams, basic teams. But after I'd done the journey once on FIFA 16, I did it again. And this time, I remember I was just like, all right, let me choose my actual team. Let me choose where I sit. And I decided on Man United, Manchester United, the Red Devils. And the reason why I chosen them is because of 2 players. My guy Ronaldo, obviously. I was a big Ronaldo fanboy back then. I was a fake Real Madrid fan back then. But my boy Ronaldo and my boy Javier Hernandez, Chicharito, those who know, uh, Hispanic legend, Mexican legend. Yeah, he really made me fall in love with the sport. He just scored the craziest, worst goals ever. The goal with his head. Oh, the one they hit off his face. That was a great one. But God, you know, I remember just watching the highlights back then, and It's FIFA 16, so it was 2015, 2016 season. I think we had just signed Jose Mourinho as our manager, and we were in the Europa League, which is the second tier of of European, you know, football. Second tier of playing in Europe. And I remember we'd won that season. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my god, this team is amazing. Nah. My team fell off a long time ago. And that's okay. I've been through a lot with them, I will say. I remember at first, I was watching a few games, and then next year I watched a few more. The season after I was watching basically every game, and then it just keep getting like that. Now I can't really tune into every game. I try to. At least, at work I listen to the audio commentaries on the Man United app. Hey, that's great. Oof. But just this team has brought me a lot of bad, but a lot of good. But I remember watching them, just going to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. God, he was great. I almost underrated, probably the best manager we had post our greatest manager of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. And me being like freaking out because I was just like, oh my god, we're finally back. We're finally back. But with everything with Man United, and the pressure gets too much, and we just didn't have we never have had the right structure in place for our team. Our owners, the Glazers, are American family who owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They don't care about the club. They only care about how much money the club makes, which sucks because we were the biggest team, I would say, goddamn, in the world. Maybe bar Real Madrid, Barcelona. I don't know about Barca. If you're a Barca fan, Messi's the only thing your club has. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. But we were up there. I guess just like United. We're gonna have our ups and downs, and right now we're currently in one of our worst moments in history. 14th place in the league, out of every competition instead of Europe. But things are still promising. Things are still happening. Well, most regular teams only have like a cup final like every once in a while. Last season was also really bad for us, and we still won a competition. We still won the FA Cup. Lift your FA Cup, but what? But yeah, it's just not where we want to be. Like in real life, right now I feel like I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better than I have been doing in previous years. But that doesn't mean I'm like, this is where I want to be forever. That doesn't mean I'm content with my entire situation. There's still many things I would want to change, and hopefully, I'm still pretty young. Oh, ref, send him off! Send him off! What are you doing? Oh my god, that's murder! But yeah, all it takes is something like a penalty to get you kick-started. You need a little bit of luck. And once you get that luck, you step up to the plate and you put it away. And who knows? The game might have just started. But yeah, like me, I'm not done yet. We might be in the 60th minute, 2-1 down, but I'm not giving up just yet. Oh! Oh, shoot. That's what I get. Hey, we make mistakes. We make stupid slides, but let's see if we can save it. Ah, right way also. Right way also. Job's not finished though. Job's not finished. Oh my. I don't know. Whenever I feel like when anytime I get on the camera, yo, like my gaming IQ just goes down 1,000. Oh my, God, it goes down 1,000%. Yeah, I really like the sport. That's something I don't have, which is stamina. Um, I guess back when I used to play my middle school team, I think the only thing I ever did was get one assist, and it was like an easy like pass forward to. It was like really tall guy. I forgot his name, but he was really nice to me, and I was just so happy I could get him the goal. But yeah, that was my only assist in like I think it was like 8 games, 10 games. I don't remember playing a lot of games, but I remember we made it to regionals, and this one game. Oh my god, it's probably one of my most embarrassing moments ever. Is coach told me to get ready, warmed up, and I remember before the game we had went to like Subway, and I was feeling like a little side stitch the entire time, but put me in, and like 5 minutes went by. I think my parents were there also, or my mom, and I'd gotten like a side stitch, like really bad, like almost like a cramp in my side, and yeah, I'd asked to get subbed off because I just couldn't keep on playing. And after that, I didn't play a single game for the rest of the season. We had made it to regionals, we won regionals, and then we made it to state. And I mean, it made me feel a little bit better that like almost none of the sixth graders didn't play at that time. There was two really good people. One of them, oh, his name was Johan. We didn't have me and him didn't. We had our problems, but I remember he scored this one crazy goal. It was like in the final. It was a bicycle kick from almost like 30 yards out. It was like almost fake. God, watching that, that was like, oh my god, this sport is crazy. And I don't know. I remember next season came, and the coach told us, everyone that was on the team will be on the team next season. So I remember I wasn't too worried for the tryouts, but I still went. I felt like I did fine, but we had gotten a new coach at that time, and I didn't make the team. Oh my! I remember I didn't make the team, and I was very, very angry. I was so angry, sad, disappointed, every word you can think of. Like, like I thought I made the team, and it really broke my heart because it was like I'd finally gotten into something really good. But I mean, I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew at that time, I had certain things holding me back, or certain things people telling me that would hold me back. Um, but it still sucked a lot. I was very disappointed at that time. And I remember I think I gave up. I was very angry. I gave up on soccer for a little bit, but that didn't last. I think that was when I started getting really into FIFA, like really in. I'd I play with my friends at school, or like people at school, and try my absolute best, to be really good. And at some point, I just got really obsessed with the game and started playing it by myself, and just kept on with the career modes. And here we are, FIFA 25, almost 10 years later. Damn, when I think about it like that, almost 10 years later. It's weird how the time flies. But not only that, how the time like just meshes together. I wonder what y'all's favorite game is, or like, what's y'all's game that you can always just go back to and just hop on like nothing happened.
Our cameras on one man, and we can confirm this now.
This is definitely my game.
Well, most of the fans in attendance here have had to bring their umbrellas and wear their raincoats. It's a soggy day for this match. My name's Derek Ray, and delighted to have alongside me, as usual on these occasions, Stuart Robson.
Yeah,
Very much looking
that
forward to bringing you action from Serie A.
that moment stuck with me. That rejection I faced that day was something I'd almost never felt in my life. I was a very safe person, you know. I would never tell any girls, you know, if I liked them. I remember one time it was with my friend Alex. We're talking about, you know, we're talking about, you know, like our crushes, and I remember we both said the same girl, and we were like, what? Back then, you know, everyone like it was like everyone had this crush on like almost like the same people. I went to a small school, so I guess it was, you know, more magnified because of that. But I remember he told me that, and then next day he told her, or the same day. I don't know if it was the next day, same day, but he told her, and then I just lied. You know, I was just like, oh yeah, I used to like you, but you know, that's something I regret, because not because, you know, it was embarrassing because I told her, or like not. I guess it was more of the fact that for many years after that, I thought about that moment for so long. You know, I should think about that moment like crazy. Like, oh, what if I just told her? You know. And side note, like, I don't think she ever liked me like that. You know, more like bros. You know, she was one of those girls. You know, tomboy s girl. I guess like the only reason like I really liked her is because like she would talk to me like a person. I know, weird to say, but at that time it was hard to talk to people. So, but yeah, no, that moment would stick with me for a long time. I'd think about it for many years, like regretting my inaction. That's something I vow not to do anymore. You know, I don't want to be inactive no more. I don't want to be passive. If I want something, I'm just gonna do it, and if it blows up in my face, it blows up in my face. But damn well, I tried. That's all that matters, really. Get that out. But yeah, no, I remember I was very mad at my friend. I mean, yeah, cause it's like he snakes on you. And you're like, what the hell, bro? I remember for a while I wasn't cool with him, or at least like I just like wouldn't really talk to him because I felt betrayed. But we patched it up years later, and he's a very cool guy now. Very 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 funny, awkward guy. That's what I like about him. You know, he doesn't care what anybody thinks. I mean, but you know, he acts like himself. And that's like the most respectful thing. You know, people who act like themselves, or like who try not to lie. It's like the same people I feel like are very. How's that pen? Are very, you know, great people to surround yourself with. But yeah, I know it was a little side story, but I guess that read, you know, that was something that stuck with me during that time. That was during the same time of, you know, me being in soccer team. I guess like the same time things were happening with my mom. Ooh, let's go. But I guess this game got me through a lot of stuff, you know. Anytime I was really down, or I just didn't know what to play, I just somehow this game was always just like not there, but it's like so easy to pick up. Like so easy to just like whatever state headspace I was in was like this was just the perfect game to just spend my time on. But what's not a good way to spend your time is playing Ultimate Team. I will say, anybody that plays Ultimate Team, you'll understand the stress and the hate that comes with playing that game mode. It's like a 9 to 5 without the benefits of it. You're not getting paid. You're just paying money to lose. I think Ultimate Team showed me like low key would show me my anger, because like it got to a point where like I remember I would be getting so mad playing the game, and I'd be like, why aren't my pass going where I want it? What the hell? Oh my god, I'd be slamming my desk, throwing my controller. My mom would be yelling at me through the house, but it was like I was never really mad at the game. It was always something else I was mad at, and the frustration of not being good at the game, compounding, the stress of something else. Just be a bad mix, this the online mode just isn't good to play when you're angry. If you could see, if I could show you like pictures of my desk, there's a bunch of like some cuts on it, I guess, like some dents of where I hit my controller. And it was only playing this game, the Ultimate Team, not online, is when I really got mad. No other game really got me mad at that ever. And I don't know. I didn't grow up really playing sports games at all. I never really played a sports game before FIFA. Why is he run so fast? I've always grown up on FPSs. My first game ever, I think, was Call of Duty World at War. At least the first one I consciously remember. I remember playing the zombies mode and getting a nightmare about me waking up in my room and like seeing zombies outside my window, and then go running to my parents' room and them freaking out, but then like telling me to hide in the closet. But there was also a version where they told me to hide under the bed. I think I dreamt this twice. But both versions, I remember hearing my parents get absolutely mauled to death, and that was probably one of the worst nightmares I ever had in my life. But still, I mean, Call of Duty Zombies is really, really fun, Probably one of my favorite, game modes ever. Same with FIFA, I don't know, never had no nightmares about this game though. But yeah, no. Because having this game, having something like this, really helped me when I was younger. Bang! Oh! Especially because it was something, I was good at. I felt like I was good. Not like, obviously I didn't. Still, I don't really know too much skill moves. I don't think skill moves define you. People who know how to use it right, they do. That's just a different level. But I feel like I was good at, making plays. Or, setting up my team well. But when I play crew mode, honestly, I just be going with the flow, seeing what's happening in the match, and I don't really like winning all the games, Sometimes I'll like lose on purpose. It makes the season more interesting. I guess you could say like put up the difficulty. Oh my, what am I doing? I put up the difficulty. But then sometimes the difficulty is just like, it's just too much, Like I don't want to try hard an offline game mode. Like I feel like FIFA is a perfect game to play when you're not trying. It's a perfect chill game if you let it be a chill game. It can be a stressful game if you let it be a stressful game, but I think it's a nice chill game for me. One day I hope to, I want to play soccer game again in some way. Maybe not as a player, but I've always thought about maybe somehow, coaching my own team one day. As like, maybe a little pee-wee soccer, some bunch of 8-year-olds screaming at the 8-year-old, "What are you guys doing?" That's gonna be me. But nah, it's just fun. I really like the details of the sport. The storylines of each game between like two different teams is crazy. Watching Man United is like watching a movie or a drama every game. Every day there's news about my club, and it's never good news. I'll tell you that for sure. Yeah. Soccer is just a sport. It's the sport, honestly, in my mind. The biggest sport of all time. And obviously the biggest one in the world. But it's just something about it. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's like the passion is what gets me, I guess. You know, seeing the crowds, stadium, stadium chants and stuff. It's crazy. I love going to. I've gone to a few games myself. A few international games. A few Mexico games. I that's something that me and my dad. We don't hang out much, but we would go to the Mexico games, and those would be like a different world. Going in, people singing their hearts out, just seeing the packed stadium, and it's like, really, really taking up my heritage and understanding, what it means to be a Mexican. You call me a no sabo. I'm basically a no sabo, but it's just the energy, that love, the passion for anything is just so attractive. No, and my girlfriend, when she like starts geeking about like freaking the Among Us joke I bring up, like stupid things, or when she starts geeking about Vanoss Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, one of the goats of YouTube, and my girlfriend loves Vanoss Gaming. I found me a Gemino. I remember the day I found out. I walked into her car, and we were just like, friends at the time, classmates, and I was just like, just talking about stuff, and I think we just got on the topic of YouTube, and I was like, oh, who do you like watching? And not gonna lie, I kind of knew she watched Vanoss because like I saw that she followed H2O Delirious, but like you don't really know. Maybe it's just like something else. But I'd ask her, and she was like, "Oh, Vanoss Gaming," and then that's how we really connected over Vanoss. Vanoss, if you're listening, we invited to the future wedding, I guess. But I don't know. These connections that we make, these passions they're so important. They're important for everybody, not just yourself, but they're just so important with like relating as a person. Like I said, me and my father, we didn't go out much, but he taught two things he did teach me. I would say that like to love, I guess like passion wise or hobby wise, was video games and soccer, and that is so ingrained into me right now. Like I'm late playing a soccer video game. Yeah, I remember my dad. He used to play the pro clubs. If you know. Pro Clubs is just a game mode where on FIFA where you make a character and with your friends, and you up to 11 friends, and they could all play a position on the team. So it's just it could be up to 11 idiots running in circles, and I love playing that with my friends. They really suck, I have to do everything, and but nah. But it's a great time. But when I was younger, I remember every once in a while, he'd be like, I need you to play for me. And that was my Champions League final. That was my ACT. That was my SAT, bro. Literally, I felt like, God, I all the pressure. He'd be like, I need to go to the bathroom. And I'd play. And, I passed that rock around with him and his friends. They'd all be speaking Spanish. And I'd just be, saying that choir, just listening to them speak. Like, and then I think one time, not one time, a couple times I would score goals, and they'd be freaking the hell out. They'd be like, "Oh my god, oh rata rata," because that's my dad's game attack. He'd be like, "Que golazo rata, oh my god," and I'd just be like, "Let's go," I'm like, I'm good enough. But all I wanted when I was younger was just I used to play with my dad, ask him to invite me and be like, let's play. And there were rare few moments where that did happen, but not too many. That's all I really wanted, was just to like impress him, like with my skills. But I don't know. I guess I wasn't really. I'm not. I would say I'm a above average, gamer. I guess in a way. Ugh, such a weird sentence. No, I'm above average gamer. But in a way, I mean, if we talk about comparatively, my homies are buns. They are buns. If you, I know some of them are listening to it right now. You're buns. But no, I say that because it's probably because I put just a lot more time, and really for a while the video games were the only thing I had, the only thing I had to spend most of my time on. So I mean, if I wasn't good at it at that point, like, come on. But yeah, no, I hope to bring that to y'all. Show what I got to bring. I used to be cold at Siege, but Siege fell off and I fell off. Overwatch for a long time was also my game. Now I don't really play much competitive games. We were playing Marvel Rivals for a while. We got to GM, me and the boys. Some of them, I think one or two, got to Eternity, which is crazy. But these games got me through a lot, and this game mode got me through a lot more. So yeah, be appreciative of what gets you through the day, and drop below what your favorite game is. I want to know what y'all's FIFA is. What game you can always hop back on. All right, y'all have a good one. I hope to see y'all next time. Peace out.